I turned to his school connections to try and show him that he could survive.
Well, there's 5 million people with disability in Australia and there's 50,000 in Canberra, so there are a number of opportunities there for a change of culture.
You can provide someone with healthcare or housing, but if you're not providing them with a community and an income, then it's really hard for them to feel like they're also participating in their own settlement process.
So my dream is to be able to hero people with a disability and to be able to show what they can do, not what they can't do.
My son Darcy had 3 red blood disorders and a bone marrow transplant in 2010. I could see how his hope was dwindling, and so I turned to his school connections to try and show him that he could survive. And I know the medical treatment saved him, but I also know that the hope of a future, that he was remembered and important in his school community, was also life-saving. I started a charity called Missing School along with 2 other mothers in a Canberra lounge room in 2012. Our 3 sons had life-threatening illnesses. We knew that school connection was the ingredient missing in their return to health. We set out to solve school isolation for children with medical and mental health conditions. We have worked on policy, provision of technology and critical research to find solutions for students who physically can't be in the classroom. We have reconnected over 7,000 classmates. We've trained hundreds and hundreds of teachers. We have produced national reports. We have lobbied politically. But one of the most fundamental things that we've done is to put telepresence robots into the classrooms of students who are in hospital or at home to enable them to connect into their classrooms real time, to receive their lessons alongside their peers with their teachers in their own school community. We know this works. We know that it helps these students identify as kids and as learners and as students, not as patients, not as their illness or their condition. We've proven it as a tiny not-for-profit operating on less than a few $100,000 a year to put telepresence robots into schools across Australia, all states and territories. If we can do it, I know we can do it as a nation. We cannot wait until children are well for them to return to school. And we have everything we need already to make this happen.
Achilles Running Club is a club for people with a disability who get together with volunteers to enjoy the health benefits of walking and running. We started the club in 2013. Our impact has meant we've met hundreds of people and guided numerous people with disability. They've had vision impairment or mental or physical impairments.
We have an amazing group of volunteers from all walks of life in Canberra, young and old. It's not a competitive running or walking club. We match guides with the athlete's capability or the goals that they set themselves.
Over the years, since we've started, there's been numerous highlights of trips away, city to surf, Run Melbourne, Orange Festival every year, thousands of park runs. So those are achievements that we are proud of.
It's giving our athletes an opportunity to move more confidently in their community, to engage in the community, to answer questions that people may pose, particularly if people don't recognise the cane.
Well, there's 5 million people with disability in Australia and there's 50,000 in Canberra, so there are a number of opportunities there for a change of culture and an awareness by everyone of what we can do for 5 million people with a disability.
What inspired me was actually being able to work and encourage people with a disability to join mainstream running and walking groups. The enjoyment that I see on the faces of our people when they finish a run. One lady said to me at the conclusion, she said, "That was amazing. I just felt like a bird." And it was very, very special.
I am an artist, a visual artist in fact, and I am a neurodiverse and autistic person. I had a bit of an English language delay growing up, and I wasn't able to express myself very well. And so what I would do, if I had a stressful situation or something that upset me, I would draw it. I think art has the power to be able to express how you feel, but art is also being able to showcase all different sorts of talents and abilities. So my dream is to be able to hero people with a disability and to be able to show what they can do, not what they can't do. And being able to champion that and showcase that through visual art and also music as well. So I've been able to work with the National Gallery. So I've been doing the Sensory Sunday, which is an art program where we just get young kids at a time where the gallery's quieter. And usually neurodiverse people who have or have someone with a disability come together and they do art, they come look at the new exhibition that's open. I really enjoy that. I've also been able to work with the United Nations. I've been a young mentor with Daydream Machine. We've got Studio And. Studio And is an art program actually for neurodiverse people or people with a disability. As I believe neurodiverse people love hanging out with neurodiverse people, so being able to bring them together there has been really awesome. I've been able to mentor so many amazing young kids who live with a disability or are neurodiverse, and they are some of the most intelligent, most talented, most amazing people I've ever met. Being autistic is okay. Being strange is okay. Being weird is okay. Having a disability to me is like an ability, and being able to showcase that is my dream.
My grandmother came to Australia in the 60s from India, and she didn't have great language skills. She didn't have a formal education, and she was a stay-at-home mum. And so it took her many, many years to gain confidence in speaking English, to go out in the community, and still, after spending almost 60 years in Australia, she is still feeling a little bit of a limbo between these two cultures. So we really didn't want other people's experiences to be like hers.
Cafe Stepping Stone's key mission is to provide employment and training for migrant and refugee women. So anyone in that cohort of people that find they have barriers to employment, whether that's English proficiency, maybe they haven't had formal training or schooling, or maybe they're very good qualifications just aren't recognised here in Australia. So for the past 4 years, we've been operating out of the homestead at Strathnairn. Last year, we were able to open a second location in Dixon, and over the last 4 years, we've been able to employ 50 women.
So in Australia, there's so many services and organisations that exist to help people through the settlement process. But unfortunately, there's still a lot of people that are slipping through the gaps. You can provide someone with healthcare or housing, but if you're not providing them with a community and an income, then it's really hard for them to feel like they're also participating in their own settlement process. We want new arrivals to Australia to be able to feel like they're part of Australian society, and we think the best way to do that is through employment.
I think Cafe Stepping Stone is more than just a cafe. What we really try to aim to do is to create an environment where women feel welcome to learn. We do this through training in-house with skills like barista in the kitchen, but also externally to that, we have a cohort of volunteers that come in and give English classes. We've been able to give financial literacy classes with grants. And I think the aim as we grow is to be able to provide more training opportunities outside of hospitality.
It has really been the women and the people that we've worked with through Stepping Stone that have been the true inspiration. They are so resilient, hardworking, committed, and they just want to improve their lives and just want to be given a fair go. And so we're really proud of the impact that we've been able to make in each of their lives.